What's going on, guys? It's Leo. So we have a little bit to talk about this morning. Some stuff's happened over the weekend. So the first thing I want to talk about is Elon Musk's tweet. So he tweeted out, "Much is made lightly of unrealized gains being a means of tax avoidance. So I propose selling 10% of my Tesla stock." And basically, what he's done here is said, if most of the people say I should sell my Tesla stock, then I'll do it. So I understand what he's trying to do because in order for a unrealized gains tax to be implemented, what that would mean is, okay, well, they haven't realized those profits yet, so how are they going to pay for it, right? So let's say that Elon, I don't know his exact net worth, I think it's in the 200 or 300 billion, but let's say it's 100 billion, right? Keep numbers safe, and or not safe, uh simple. So 100 billion, right? Let's say it's 20% tax. That would mean that he would need to sell off 20 billion worth of his Tesla stock, because a lot of people like him, they don't have 200, 300 billion just cash sitting in a bank account. It's in stock in their company. Now, what he's trying to do here is he's trying to enforce the idea of what would that actually look like? What would happen if you sold off $20 billion worth of a company just because of this unrealized capital gains tax thing? So, I mean, it, it to me, it's a really stupid idea because it's going to, it's just a lot of unnecessary selling pressure on the stock market, for one, which would drive down pensions. It would drive down retirement accounts. It would depress the overall economy for the average person. So yes, the government is like, well, we can get more money from these billionaires, but one of the unintended consequences of that is a depressed economy, right? Because you're gonna, and it wouldn't just be this one company that has to do this. It would be all the companies with these big CEOs that hold massive stakes in their stock holdings. So what would happen is you would see massive declines in the stock market, which ultimately would hurt people's retirements, right? Because if I'm holding Tesla stock in one of my retirement portfolios and he has to sell off 20 or 30% or whatever it is that they're wanting to tax him at, that is massive selling pressure. And that's going to force down my retirement account as a result of the government wanting more money. Personally, if you dig into what the government spends, it's laughable. I mean, they don't need more money. What they need is to give the American people more stuff for less money, because their waste in the government is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, I was reading an article that the Pentagon had paid, I want to say, I'm going from memory, so I might be a couple $1,000s off, but they paid $6,500 per coffee maker. A coffee maker. I can buy one of those at Walmart for $30. What? I mean, there's no justification for $6,500 for a coffee maker. So, I mean, the more you dig into it, the more it's not about, oh, well, we need money, we don't have any money. It's more of a spending problem. And even more so than the spending problem is it's a waste problem. They have no one to hold them accountable for what they're spending on stuff. As Americans, we could be getting a whole lot more bang for our buck if they were held accountable and spent money more efficiently. Tesla can spend, I think it's 1% the cost to launch a rocket from what NASA, from what it would cost NASA. So if it cost him $1 million, it would cost NASA $100 million to do the same thing, to show you how wasteful the government is. Anyway, went off on a little tangent there, but I think that's what he's trying to do. Now, as far as how this relates to AMC, uh, a lot of, I mean, I'm sure a lot of YouTubers are saying this, so it goes without saying that if Tesla stock goes down, that will reduce the collateral that a lot of these short positions have, because a lot of them in their portfolio are long Tesla. So if Tesla's price drops dramatically, that would put more margin call pressure on them, essentially. It's interesting. we'll have to see what happens. I suspect that what Elon Musk's going to do, he's not just going to dump it all at once. He would sell it spread out because that would get him more bang for his buck. So I anticipate in the short term, it's very likely we see a little bit of a FUD sell off, a little bit of scare while he's slowly selling off 10%. I mean, which is smart on his part either way, because he wins by illustrating the point of what would actually happen if that were to go into law with the unrealized gains tax, of stocks completely being depressed and retail investors' retirements being hurt by those stocks being depressed and going down from the CEOs constantly having to sell off to pay this ridiculous tax. And then, what happens when they pay this tax and then those gains go down, right? So, I mean, how do you judge unrealized gains? It's like, who's going to pay me on my unrealized profits type of thing. It's just it's a ridiculous joke. I mean, that money is not real until it is real. Anyway, so what else do we need to talk about? So let's go ahead and jump over to the AMC chart. So it's looking really good. Like I said, not a whole lot has changed. The one thing that has changed is if we look here at the 2-hour time frame, we can see that the golden cross has now moved onto the 2-hour time frame, which is good. So that's looking more bullish, because what I tell you all the time is that the EMA crosses, whenever you're looking at them, they have more weight on the higher time frame they get. It is a lagging indicator. It's more of a aha, that's interesting type of thing. And whenever you're in a triangular consolidation period like this, whenever you get towards the end of it, I've found that, so if you have a triangle similar to this, right? Why is it not? The heck? Why is it not showing up? Okay. Oh, that's weird. Oh, there it goes. So you have a triangle, right? If you get an EMA cross at the very end towards the bullish side, like we're doing here, it's a very good predictor as to which way the triangle or consolidation period is going to break. That said, EMAs they're less reliable as they get flatter and flatter. Just because of consolidation, you see this choppy price action. But in combination with, we're at the end of this, we have a completed count here. We have trend line. There's a lot of things telling us that we should be moving up soon. So the fact that we are crossing to the bullish side, that's a good sign. I'll put it that way. It doesn't guarantee anything, obviously, but it's something I do like to see. That's pretty much it as far as the technical analysis goes. I mean, nothing has really changed other than that we've crossed on the higher time frame. So next cross I'd be looking for would be the 4-hour. Just interesting things to look at. Looks like, depending on what price it does today, we could see it tomorrow, I would say. Gosh, this thing is just delete. There we go. Yep, so I'm pretty much running out of things to talk about. So I will see y'all in the next video. Take care. Bye.